going into on how to build your agency and scale to 20K a month in 42 days. And basically, I want you to know from the get-go that I'm a real practical guy and just want to show you what to do and why you do it. And that's kind of it. I'm not going to include any filler information, affiliate links, opt-ins, webinar, stuff like that. Just real practical value that you can implement literally after this video. Because at the end, I'll also be having action items for you, worksheets for you, live sales calls for you, and just, kind of everything you need in order to get going. And I'm also going to be covering a lot of awesome stuff today, which is going to be, number one, actually taking a view on the current agency industry. Because, a lot has happened over the past, I would say 4 years, in terms of evolvement within this model. Especially when the social media marketing agency trend occurred, when Tai Lopez, jumped into the industry and told everyone to, hey guys, so just pick a niche. Just do Facebook ads and make a premium package for it and just charge businesses, for it when, you don't even know your niche. It's kind of ridiculous, guys, how distorted things have gotten. And I really just want to be going over some of those distorted truths here today and, go over the fundamentals. Client acquisition, right? So actually organic methods. And what organic methods mean is basically, not using any paid advertisements. So being able to leverage social media, stuff like that, simply to attain new clients, right? Or cold email, just kind of those things and not Facebook ads. So, I'll be showing you free alternatives that you can use too. So just to go briefly over everything. So we're going to be going over taking a view, the fundamentals, client acquisition, and conversions. And conversions is basically sales. But before we dive into that, you may be wondering, who is this random guy on the internet and is he even fit to teach me? And that is a great question. But if you're here for the training and you already know who I am and what I do, I would say simply skip a few minutes ahead and enjoy the free value that I have created for you. Basically, for those who don't know me, so my name is Bastian Slot. I'm 21 years old and I was born in the Netherlands. And I started my journey back in June 2018 with social media marketing, and I had a mentor guide me. And if I could go back in time, I would highly suggest, for anyone just literally starting from scratch to get a course. And the reason behind it is to get a good understanding of the business model. What kind of pillars to focus on, understand the language a little bit better, because some of you may not even know what client acquisition means, but it's basically, acquiring clients, while reaching out to clients and setting meetings. So that's essentially the definition of client acquisition. But yeah, if you don't know the business model, then it's hard for you to understand, that kind of language, or terms. And I used to have a serious gaming addiction that, was not really too healthy for my mentality, nor my actual, just health in general. And I also had social anxiety and some serious depression, for a couple of years along. And I also had 21 cents to my name. And as you can see, I actually had a screenshot right here. And this is from December 1, 2018. And I literally applied for a credit card so I can make some investments into, what I was going to be doing. Because I knew, 9 to 5 wasn't really for me. Even though I may be smiling here, I was really kind of dying on the inside, to be honest. Because I literally worked at 2 supermarkets and I started to feel what it was going to be like after college, because I was literally going to college to learn how to manage a supermarket, and I think there's greater opportunities for people to seize if they know they have the potential to acquire it. And honestly, I'm not special. I feel like anyone can get to the point where I am and even be, 100,000 times better, So basically, I have no degree in business or anything like that. And also, I know this may be a little strange to mention, but for myself, I never actually had a loving relationship. And this excludes parents, obviously, your parents love you. I mean, I do hope so. But I mean, in terms of actually meeting someone in real life and being able to have a loving relationship, and I'm talking about the girlfriend stuff. It's something I always dreamed of, or just a powerful network from the day I was born. And this was literally the case, from the day I was born till my late 20s, just because I had social anxiety, and I just had a very biased, outlook on life. And moving forward, at the beginning of 2019, so the second month of 2019, I actually had my first success. I closed my first client, and I know I said I started in June, but I slacked off until December. That was kind of the breaking point for me. I kind of quit my job there. And I started to go full force on this whole business model idea of, having an agency and, delivering on a service for the niche you're helping. And I didn't close a client until February 2019. In a picture on the right, I'm actually with my first client in his restaurant. And he owns multiple six-figure businesses. He is an absolute killer, and he's going to build an actual new gym in Dubai, which is going to be really cool. And as you can see, I actually closed the deal 1 hour before that picture. In the gym, I was training with him, so he paid me there. And then we moved forward to his restaurant. And we basically just had a chat and took that picture. And my marketing agency helped him with establishing brand awareness for his e-com supplement brand in the startup phase. And I also dropped out of college in April 2019. And I was just completely done at that point, right? Because I saw this was working. This was really going somewhere. I started to build momentum. And basically in April, a big opportunity got onto my lap that I took. And I had to sacrifice a lot and throw a lot of stuff on the fire. I had to drop college. That was number one. I had to leave my country. I've never lived on my own. I've always lived with my parents. I had to leave my family, friends that I had, and just everything I had in the Netherlands to move to Serbia for 6 months for a bigger opportunity. That's how bad I wanted it, right? And basically in Serbia, I managed a 7-figure marketing agency. And basically what I did is I managed the fulfillment and sales division side of things. And we've actually hit an amazing milestone where we did over 300K in revenue within 90 days. And I had no prior sales experience or any business experience at all. I literally got mentored by 2 awesome guys, within a time frame of, 6 months. So that's like where I got, I would say a big part of my current skill sets from, sales, for instance. And in September 2019, I shifted away from that marketing agency in Serbia, and I went full on down the entrepreneurial path. And I started my own agency and consulting business. And that was another awesome chapter that is, where I'm currently at. So, and on the picture on the right, you can also see, me just standing. I just, got a new outfit. I went shopping with my top student. He was actually making a picture here of me with his new camera. And I'm just like, pretending to be cool here at the window, looking at my refrigerator. So yeah, and basically Boss Slot version 3.0. And the main vision that drives me is to be the change I needed when I started for other people, hence why I'm on the education side of the agency model. Some people say, Bas, why are you doing mentorships and courses when you have an agency? Well, because I enjoy helping people more. And essentially, as stated here, being the change I needed when I started for other people, I'm not really passionate about helping business owners get more boob job patients, I mean, it's a great way to get like the survival stages of your life, because at the beginning, I feel like it's more about survival, being able to sustain yourself and, trading freedom. So, you can get to the point where it becomes bigger than that. It's not just about you anymore. It's about others and legacy. And basically, I'm just on a relentless quest to reform the education system till my absolute last breath. And currently, I'm doing 30 to 40K a month with my agency and consulting business. And as you can see right here, this is my Stripe account. So this is where the main payments get processed. As you can see, we charge, 3K euro retainers. And that's kind of like bare minimum, right? And basically, I'm not here to brag about how much I make or how my penthouse looks or anything along those lines. This is just to show who I was, who I am, and who I'm becoming. And just some like context to who's presenting this to you. And for those who wonder, we're also doing wire transfers. We're also doing PayPal. Also one Dutch processor that I'm going to quit using because it's just not good. Just some mistakes I've learned from. But guys, if a supermarket boy with no business degree at the age of 20 can turn around like this, so can you. I am nothing special. Everyone really deserves to live life on their own terms and experience the beauty it withholds for everyone in their own journey. And do you remember how I said I never had a loving relationship? Well, during this journey, it's filled up an empty hole that's been there for a long time. And it just allows me to thrive 100 times harder on my vision. And this journey has been my biggest source of pain as well as pleasure. And I've barely gotten started. However, it's not about me anymore as I stated in this, as I've gone through the survival phase. For me, it's right now all about impact and legacy. And as you can see on this picture right here, this was last weekend with my girlfriend. And guys, this is like probably the best chapter. Well, it is the best chapter in my life so far, and I cannot wait for the new awesome things to come. Yeah, guys, that's a bit of an insight as to who I was, who I am, and who I'm yet becoming. And all I want for you is to create such a turnaround for your life by doing this the right way. The agency industry has gotten distorted through fake gurus and invalid theories. And what I mean by that is just people productizing services into a course with no proof of concept, or just, reteaching stuff that they made 2 years ago and redecorating it again into a course and pretending it to be like some 2.0 version. It just doesn't work anymore. And right now, I'm going to showcase you some serious pitfalls to avoid when you are starting out in this industry. So taking a few on the agency industry. So a lot of startup agencies dig themselves a literal hole at the start by not having the fundamentals in place. And what the fundamentals consist of is niche, doing your market research, and having an offer and a predictable way to deliver on it. And I've observed that loads of my new students have an existing clientele base, 4 to 8 clients, and have to completely restart with what they built because they don't have their fundamentals in place. They don't know who they're helping or what they're offering. There's no specialization. They're capped to low ticket prices. Below $1,000 is what they can charge only because they position themselves as a generalist in the agency space. They don't solve a deeper desire or problem in the market because, it's not possible because it's not even like an idea that can pop up as they just, help any niche really to, make a buck. And the profit margins are extremely low. And unfortunately, it only gets worse, without putting your specialization into one niche and one offer. And they have to erase their already built on agency because it is not scalable. I've had students delete 80% of their entire client base so they can play the long-term game. We have looked at, basically the board, and we have taken, an objective view on how can we keep some of the clients in, get good cash flow for you still, and not you having to delete your agency. But unfortunately, this had to be the conclusion almost every single time, because it just doesn't set them up for the long-term game, And why does this happen? Well, most gurus tell you to pick a niche, and it doesn't matter at the beginning. It's basically roll the dice, do your outreach, and if it doesn't work, just return back to picking another niche. And the steps in between here are missing, such as doing your market research and making your offer to the segment of the market you're going to be helping and seeing how well it resonates by going out there and testing it. Another one. So a lot of startup agencies don't know how to set meetings and cannot seem to find the root of the issue. And this is not an issue with your outreach, but once again, the fundamentals aren't in place. And I'm like a broken record, literally screaming the fundamentals aren't in place, like every single time. And I don't blame the people really for it. It's just because most gurus teach you to simply offer, Facebook ads, SEO, AdWords, etc., just as a digital marketing service. And even the agency owner himself cannot explain often of the times why he's offering Facebook ads, SEO, or AdWords. Facebook ads, for instance, is a way for you to deliver on your result-based offer, which, I will elaborate on in a little bit. And most agencies don't have a result-based offer and try every possible way to pitch their Facebook ads into a business owner face. And it just doesn't work anymore. It worked better 2 years ago, but, the market is changing and evolving and they're seeing through the BS, and it just doesn't work anymore. And I've asked this question to 50 different agency owners, and the most common answer was to my question of why do you offer Facebook ads? Was who doesn't like to make money and get more leads, right? And this is ridiculous. There's millions of ways to make money and get more leads. You can't just go out to the market and tell them what they need. And this is a fight you don't want to jump into because the marketplace always wins. The only thing that matters is their desires and, problems they're having and whether you can come in and solve those, right? And the conclusion of why most agency owners don't set meetings is because they think they know what the market wants and delude themselves into believing that. And their offer doesn't resonate with the market and their heads are left scratching, literally wondering why they aren't setting any meetings or getting any sales. And then they are just in a never-ending frustration and pursuit of finding new work and outreach methods. Well, the only way to fix this is to get the fundamentals right. So another one. A lot of marketing agencies think they need to do the service delivery themselves, right? And the literal definition of an agency is a business or organization providing a particular service on behalf of another business, person, or group. And what I want to introduce to you right now is the mediator model. So you can easily find a freelancer on a freelance website. So for example, Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, onlinejobs.ph to have a trained expert with experience to do the campaigns for you. Number one, these people have already run successful campaigns. Number two, these people are always up to date with the Facebook algorithm. Number three, these people know exactly what kind of structure there has to be in the place of the campaign in order to deliver on the service you want to be delivering on, right? And I'll go more in depth on how to find, price, qualify, and interview a freelancer. Thirdly, also how to delegate and deliver on your services together with your contractor for your client. And I'm actually going to be making a separate video about that. And the mediator model benefits. So you minimize the links you play as an agency owner, which is the never-ending quest, right? You don't want to be doing, the fulfillment side of things, the sales side of things, the outreach side of things, in a year from now. At the start, you have a massive amount of more confidence in your service delivery if you do take on a Facebook ads expert and just learn as you go. Facebook ads is a completely separate skill set. You're not going to be a pro in 30 days. It's kind of like me selling a course on how to become a pro footballer like Cristiano Ronaldo in 30 days. You take the course and you expect to be it. It's just not realistic, right? Common sense isn't like the same as practical sense. And guys, basically, if you get an expert on board, you'll have more time to focus on acquisition and conversions, and ultimately save energy that can be channeled into making long-term and thought-out decisions for the scaling phase of your business. And it just has many other benefits. And there are a lot of distorted truths in the industry, and I could go on for hours and hours about the current state of it, but I'd rather show you directly how to do it. So let's dive into it. So the fundamentals. So number one is picking your niche, right? So in an agency, it is important to focus down on one segment of the market. And you may be wondering, why is that? Well, because everyone in the marketplace has different problems, and those different problems need different solutions. Some people want to know on how to build an agency, right? So there's this video for that. Some people want to lose weight, you've got fitness gurus making videos on that, So once again, guys, people just have different problems, and to different problems, they need different solutions, and you just can't help everyone. It's hard to be the best in the world at multiple things, but extremely easy to specialize and become good at something specific. Authority. You'll also be a respected authority in your field. Results for your clients will be more powerful. Sales calls will be more powerful, and people will respect you way more. Just because you know more about your niche, you actually know who you're helping, what problems they're facing, how they think, how they feel, how they make decisions, and all these kind of things if you just specialize in one niche. And you'll be seen as an expert and not a generalist. Skill. So by helping one segment of the market with one offer and one predictable way around it to deliver it, you will be able to maintain high profit margins. Have a plug-and-play system for clients and increase time of retention, which is essential as the model is MRR based. Now, what is MRR? So MRR stands for monthly recurring revenue. And how cool is it to make a sale one time and get paid for another 11 months passively, right? The only way to retain your clients longer is to keep them happy by delivering the end result, right? Being up to date with them and your market, and just having things organized and having good communication, right? And these are truly the main factors that contribute to a long-lasting relationship between you and your client. So how do you pick a niche? Well, guys, sorry to tell you this, but there's no direct and one correct answer to this. However, there is definitely methods to help you pick one. So what I've done is I've compiled a worksheet for you to go through that will help you define your niche that I'll be running you down on at the end of this presentation. And some serious pitfalls to avoid when you are going through this process. So number one is don't be torn between picking a niche. Be decisive, okay? And you don't want to be copying other people, okay? Their niche and their offer, because basically, guys, I'm going to be showing you what I offer and what I do, but don't just copy and paste it and blindly go out to the market. Do the work. And also don't think that you are marrying your niche, okay? And also, don't be afraid you won't be able to help your niche out because you have no prior experience. You really have to believe in your ability to figure it out. Okay, because you will. There's always a solution to a problem, and it's important to be optimistic in this aspect. So what do you do after picking a niche? So after you've concluded what niche you want to help, it's time to ask yourself, how can I help them, right? What kind of desires do they have? What kind of problems are they facing? And this is where we do research on our market and look for deeper desires they have within their business or problems they are facing, right? And seeing how we can deliver on those solutions. And I'll go in depth on a worksheet I've compiled for you on how you can start doing your research and creating your result-based offer. Now, Bass, what is this result-based offer you keep talking about? So as an agency, you want to be end result driven, right? The tech side of things, the process or anything like that, it's just not relevant, guys. You know, if Amazon orders, if I order a book from Amazon, I don't really care how it gets to me. I just want what I paid for, right? So it's important to be end result driven as an agency. People only care about themselves and they only care about the result. They don't care how much effort you put into it, okay? Fulfilling. So don't be afraid that the first time you deliver on your result-based offer, that you may or may not fail, because you will, okay? However, if you know from the practical side of things why it failed, note it down, take in feedback, adjust your result-based offer, and make it better on what went wrong. And this is the master algorithm to creating an absolutely killer service for your clients. And ask yourself the right questions when delivering your result-based offer, right? Such as, how can I make this better? How can I make this more efficient and overviewable for my clients? How can I create more transparency between me and my clients on what's coming in and what's going out? And guys, looking past the surface. So I'm going to be diving into the worksheet in a little bit, but first, looking past the surface. So most agencies have a one-liner as to showcase their audience to what they do, right? So this is literally 99% of the agencies. They say, I help small businesses get more leads with digital marketing. Or I help dentists with Facebook ads. And it just doesn't paint a clear picture about who you help or what you exactly do. It's just not a resonator with anyone. And no one cares about how you do it. May it be with, Facebook ads or any other service in the digital marketing spectrum. Once again, people only care about the end result. Now, this is how a fundamentally built agency operates like. What they say is, I help plastic surgeons, for instance, get 10 to 15 new breast augmentation patients every single month. Or I help plumbers get people that need a hot water heater installation installed. I speak to my audience and I have an end result driven offer, and there's a clear indication of what's being delivered on with certainty by indicating a time frame. So plastic surgeon desire, breast augmentation patients. Why? Well, it's a high ticket service. And this is like what I've been able to conclude from my market research, right? It's a high ticket service, minimal in terms of time, and the margins are high on, the revenue. And it's to be found an easy procedure to deliver on. Plumber desire, hot water heater jobs. Why? Well, it's a high ticket service. You don't really have to explain why you have to do it to customers, and it's easy to do for the plumber. So right now I'm going to give you guys a live rundown on the worksheet. So guys, basically this is the worksheet right here. So number one, what we're going to be doing right here is picking your niche. So be decisive and remember that the person who picks the wrong one is really going to go down a faster path than the person who doesn't, because they're in the process of seeing what works for them and what doesn't. And both are equally as important. And remember, you're not married to your niche. Stick with it for at least 21 days if you do decide to go with one. And don't take longer than 48 hours to decide on what niche you want to work with. So, step one, list 3 niches you know or are semi-passionate on. And you don't have to be passionate within the niche itself completely. For instance, I'm passionate about making money, right? I love making money. And delivering client results, for instance, right? Don't have passion, then create it. And then step 2, list 3 deep desires or problems of the niches you've written down. And what you want to be doing is actually acquiring the deep desires, right, on those niches or problems they're facing. So go to the market and ask for answers to your questions through calling up the business, right? And I would really suggest to use the intern method. And basically what it is, it's like, so for instance, with plastic surgeons, I would say, hey, my name is Bastian, and I just had a few questions for your business, just because I'm an intern and I'm looking to, apply as a plastic surgeon really soon, after I graduate college. And I know this may not be, ethically right, but you're not really hurting anyone, and it's really just shortcutting the process for you to acquire, market research information. It's really like going to save you time. And once again, you're not hurting anyone. And you can also do web research through Quora.com or BuzzSumo.com. And this essentially shows you, high performing content on a certain industry. And this just has a shit ton of information. And basically, guys, here are some question examples. But also to explain why we do market research is because a lot of agencies, or I guess just a lot of people, not just agencies, a lot of the times people come up with ideas, and think they need an awesome idea to break through with their business. But what you should be looking for is problems. And you don't just assume what the market's problems are. You go out there and ask them what they're dealing with within their business, right? It's like this example Sam often gives. It's like, how do you know what Susie wants for lunch? You could own Google. You could have $20 trillion in your bank account. You could, own Illuminati, but you still wouldn't know what Susie wants for lunch unless you just ask her. And yes, it's really that simple. Just go to the market and ask your questions and get answers to them and find a recurring pattern in, deeper desires on, what they would like to get or problems they're facing. So here's just some question examples for you that you can use. And then what I encourage you to do is to create a Google form response to acquire a recurring pattern of answers to your questions that will help you create your result-based offer. Because then after this process, step 3, out of the 3 desires and problems from the niches you've selected and the research you've done, which one creates the biggest impact for your niche, right? So this will be the first theory of your RBO. And reverse engineer this process. So how can you go from the end result to the start and have a streamlined way of delivering on this deeper desire of the market or problem and deliver it to them? So guys, let's move forward. So we were right here. And now we're going to be talking about outreach. So we're going to be talking about my top 3 methods. So number 1 is LinkedIn. Number 2 is Voicedrops. Number 3 is Facebook. So organic method number 1, LinkedIn. And guys, LinkedIn is so powerful. Like the thing with LinkedIn is you don't come from a place of obscurity. People literally accept you into the network before you reach out to them, which just makes outreach a lot better, And it's more so a B2B focused platform, which is just really awesome. And you can actually target people way better in comparison to Facebook or Twitter or any other social platform, when you compare it like that. And some LinkedIn outreach necessities. So you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is essentially the premium version of LinkedIn, where you can more so get into more premium accounts, which are more high quality prospects, just because these people, have invested in that platform for B2B reasons. So everyone essentially gets the free opportunity to use their 30-day trial. And even if you've already done it, I would highly suggest to reinvest in it, just because the chances of you getting a quality prospect will be way, way higher. Plus, with the integration we're going to be using, the iCloud software, and this is not going to be an extension, guys. Extension will be probably gone within the next 12 months. And it just puts your account at more risk. So this is why I recommend WeConnect.io. And you can also use the 14-day free trial. And we also have a messaging sequence. So I'm going to be showing you what to use and why you use it. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a live rundown on my own LinkedIn profile. So basically, guys, let's see. I was just checking what this guy was saying, but let me just give you guys a rundown on my profile. So basically what I have right here is I directly speak to my audience. So I have attention, because what better way to capture someone's attention than putting it in caps in your bio, and, speaking to your niche. So attention plastic surgeons, we can get your calendar booked with 10 to 15 breast augmentation patients every single month. And then I have a bio right here. Speak to my audience, tell a little story, dig into their pain, and create a peak interest in a low pressure call to action. And as you can see, I don't have dozens of articles, and I'm really still getting a lot of meetings. I'm getting anywhere from 5 to 10 sales appointments a week just to LinkedIn, which is just really awesome. And I do have endorsements. But guys, I will really just model kind of my profile. Just have a clean looking profile picture. I wouldn't suggest to use a background, but if you have a clean one, I would say use it. Don't try to be too fancy. And then, as I said, try to model this. And I would also suggest to just go on Fiverr.com get an outsourcer to add 500 connections to your profile to get like, that high status on LinkedIn. Because people can't see where actually your connections, right? And most of the time they don't dive into it and see if you only work with plastic surgeons, right? It just kind of like gives you that more social proof status. So if you only have like 20 connections, I would really suggest that you go on Fiverr.com and get an outsourcer to add connections to your profile and really get that up. And I also would suggest to use a Calendly link, right? Because basically what this does is you can literally pre-qualify your prospects, right? So I'll go to the link real quick. And I can just show you guys the question form that I use. So the phone number, I would literally just model this, guys. You can literally go to my Calendly link, model the questions if you want, because this is going to help you qualify the prospect up front. Because it's kind of a big red flag if they cannot invest, but yet do still book in a meeting, right? Because strategy sessions are really intent driven. Number one, people set time aside. Number two is like them kind of being in the supermarket and waiting for something to make sense to buy, right? That's why the strategy sessions are there. They know the intention, they set time aside, and the only question left is, does it make sense for me to invest into this, right? Because you piqued your interest through LinkedIn. So right now, I want to show you guys some awesome statistics that I've been able to create with just using this new software that I've hopped like 2 weeks ago on, I believe, something like that. So basically, it's called we-connect.io, and I connected with 522 new plastic surgeons. Apologies, within my field, I think it's kind of lagging. So let me just refresh that real quick for you. Yeah, there we go. So basically, I have a really high connect rate. It's 25%, 1% replied, and this is just insane, guys. And this is also just a test campaign that I've run. But the statistics are really, really good. So essentially what you need to do, if you want to make a campaign, it's really easy. You just go to add new, and then you enter the campaign name. So I'm just going to do this one called YouTube campaign. And essentially, message first connections. Oh, invite new connections. It's like prospects. If you already have ran this, I would click this one. Click save and continue. And then, guys, we have the messaging sequence sheet. So I'm going to give you guys the cheat sheet as well, which is right here. So you have the example right here. You have to follow message. And this is essentially what you can be doing, right? So this is going to be in the description for you to use. And I'm also going to be giving you guys a live sales call where I closed a client for $2,250. But then to get back, so we're just going to do this real quick. It's not really that hard. You can also, determine how many hours after you want to like send out that connection request. And it's really that simple. So the settings, I always have mine on 100. I don't go above, the maximum. You can also set up your own time. So you can just do that right here. Really easy. So yeah, that is kind of it. And then you just hit save and continue. And it's literally going to run on autopilot for you. So that's really how easy it is, guys. So that's LinkedIn. So then moving forward to Voicedrops. So what is a voice drop? So a voice drop is a pre-recorded voice marketing message. And there's different softwares on the market that you could test and play around with. And I will not be revealing the campaign settings / softwares I use, just because, this is something I teach inside my course. But I do want to give you guys just tell you pretty much, hey guys, this exists and it's powerful, and just explain like essentially what it is. So what does an active voice drop campaign look like? So a campaign could be set up to dial 100 ports per minute. So what it means is 100 numbers being called, niche-focused businesses, and voice dropped within a single minute and get you inbound calls back through your pre-recorded voice marketing message. So the system calls up the niche-focused business through scraped data that you've gathered through D7 Lead Finder or Cold Lantern or Seamless IA. And essentially, a voicemail gets gets left. And people call you back. And essentially, the objective of this is to completely switch up the frame where you don't have to come from a place of obscurity. It's basically like cold calling on steroids. You'll have an endless stream of hot email calls coming in, which can be converted into sales appointments. And this is highly scalable. It can serve as your most powerful weapon inside your marketing agency to generate sales appointments on a consistent basis. So this is just a little template you can use, and you can use online-voice-recorder.com to record your pre-recorded voice marketing message for your campaign. So what I would say is, hi, this is Bastian with Augmentation Appointments, and I was just wondering if your clinic has the capability to take on new breast augmentation patients in Houston. We have too many people to handle for our clients, so we're currently looking for another reputable clinic that could take on these new patients. And I would just love to know if this is something that's possible. And you can reach me back at number. Have an awesome day. And then guys, we have organic method number 3, and that is Facebook attraction. So allow me to elaborate on this. So what you want to be doing as an agency. So say you help plastic surgeon. You want to join 5 to 10 high quality plastic surgeon Facebook groups, right? And what you want to be doing is go to the member section and add 20 to 35 people in your niche every single day. And you want to have indoctrinator profile through content, right? So market resonating content. Now, what is market resonating content? So it's essentially giving people value on, problems they're struggling with in their business, or, just you restoring distorted truths, just as I am in this video right here, and people resonating with it, because you understand the problems better than they do themselves, giving them value, giving them practical value. And what you want to be doing is connect with the engagements, right? Add people who engage with the content through the groups. And what you want to be doing is just start a human-to-human conversation and really have the objective of setting a meeting, right? Start casually and slowly start looking into booking a meeting. Really what you want to be doing is having a 15-minute chat and then ultimately redirecting to a strategy session. So this is kind of like the general model that's also applicable to mainly actually consulting businesses, for coaches. But the next one is going to be absolutely amazing for you to use. So we have niche Facebook groups. So basically what you want to be doing is post a case study with value, right? So what you can be doing is leverage with a contractor's case study. And what you'll have is you will have your Facebook profile serve as an indoctrinator, with market resonating content. And people will see you as a high authority figure or as an expert, right? Which is kind of the same. So you'll have two things. You'll have people visiting your Facebook profile, and at the same time, you'll also have your messaging copy in your bio, plus a landing page call to action to the funnel, right? Which is just absolutely amazing. And my students have gotten great results from this. So I would say get a contractor's case study, give people value on how you achieve those results, and demonstrate your expertise and get people to trust you by giving value. So conversions. The 2 ways to really improve your sales is practicing through role playing, right? So guys, I would really suggest you join my free Facebook group and find a partner. The link will be in the description. And then also the field, right? So recording your calls, giving yourself honest feedback, or having someone give you feedback that's really good at sales. Reiterate, improve, and repeat, right? That's kind of like the master algorithm to consistently improve your sales. And conversion necessities. So sales script, and then you have the live rundown that I'm going to be giving you guys right now. So guys, here we have it, the conversion script. So this is essentially going to be in the description as well. So just click on the file to get your own copy. So click on here, make a copy to create your own tailored sales script for your agency. And guys, this is an absolute killer script. And there's also just a master algorithm for you attached right here with some awesome keywords to just to buy to, and also a pre-ritual for sales that I always do. So every week when you go through your master algorithm worksheet, reiterate and improve your script based on your conclusions after a few calls, right? And then also focus on asking niche related questions. Just really avoid cookie cutter questions. Just like, so what is your motivation to be here today, right? Or what is your monthly revenue? What is your target monthly revenue? What are you doing to acquire leads? Ask niche specific questions. And an example of that is, so what are you currently doing for your clinic to generate new patients? Instead of what are you doing to generate new leads, right? guys, those kind of things are really powerful if you keep sliding those in. It just really demonstrates your expertise, shows you are more of a specialist, and just has a lot of other benefits. And so pre-ritual for sales, guys. So motion creates emotion. So what I mean with this, I always do this before my sales call. So what I do is I do about 20 jumping jacks, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, and really just get my juices flowing and get energized, through motion. And then also, some people take emotional baggage from what's happened before the sales call. Maybe you had a bad call before that, an hour before that call, and you take that kind of mind frame with you and think like, this call is going to go the same way. And you really don't want to be taking the mindset onto, a new fresh call. You want to be, unbiased, and then be energetic, guys. Be certain in what you say and generally want to help the other person. I also say, get a pen and notepad ready, cut out all the noise, be in a quiet room and focus on diagnosing the situation. Have a good Wi-Fi connection and have good headphones. So guys, this is also going to be in the description. I'm probably going to be making a separate video on this as I elaborate on every single question on here. And also just make more in-depth videos on like the LinkedIn strategy as well, for example. But for now, I'm just going to give you guys access to this so you guys can go ahead, tailor to your own niche. That you're helping and disclose your own offer right here at the same time when you're pitching, and just really like making an absolute killer. And essentially, this is a recording of myself where I closed a $2,250 deal with the script you just saw right here. So I'm going to give you guys access to this, and then we're going to be diving into the last few stages of the presentation. So guys, some action items right here. So define your niche within the next 48 hours, okay? And what you want to be doing is research 3 deep desires and problems within a niche. And then create your result-based offer. So essentially step 1 to 3 is actually complete the worksheet. And number 4 is implement the 3 organic methods. Number 5, focus on the IPAs, okay? And IPAs stand for income producing activities. So essentially what it is for an agency is generating sales appointments and closing them down. And number 6 is go through the live sales call. And then number 7 is find a role play partner inside the Facebook group and really start taking this serious, guys. Sales is an amazing skill set to have. It's actually the most important one, in my opinion. So yeah, guys, join the free Facebook group and find a role play partner to start doing this. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to be pitching you right now. I just want to showcase that I actually do coach people on the agency model, and I actually launched a new training program. So if you found this video valuable and it brought some more clarity to you and, just gave you some real practical stuff to move forward with, then I would love to see if you would actually be qualified for my coaching, where we just level you up. So, so you could go ahead and visit bslotcoaching.com/101 for more information. And if you want an overview of my agency training program, so what kind of entails, you can go ahead and go to agencycultivation.teachable.com. The links are also going to be in the description. And guys, if you have any questions on this video, just leave them down below. And if you like this video, I would say, guys, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'll be seeing you in the next